happy to have you here. This video is an ensemble of clips throughout late summer to fall where we planted our Thuja hedge. I have searched the internet for a proper English translation. In Sweden we say Thuja, and Google Translate says Thuja. Would you let me know if that's correct? Anyway, it's an evergreen in the cypress family. We got the delivery in the first week of August, and at the time it had been super windy and chilly, so we didn't open them for a few days. We were waiting for the soil anyway. They looked really good when they arrived. I ordered them quite tall because it was on a 55% discount, otherwise it would have been way too expensive. They are between 160 and 180 centimeters tall, and were 25 of them, which covers between 10 to 15 meters depending the spacing in between. Ideally, we would have planted them right away. It's a perfect time for it. It had been raining a lot already, as you can see on the ground, but right after we got the soil delivered, the storm came. It was hard winds, and as you are aware, the rainiest summer in over 50 years. So we had to pause this project for a few weeks. So we made a huge mistake when doing the groundwork. We asked them to dig a trench so we could plant them in there right away. But since all the rain, the trench got bigger and bigger and would no longer drain all the water. So we had to pump it out almost every day. And here you can see how it's literally a stream, or like a mini waterfall into the trench. Our land is slightly hilling down from the forest to the road, and while doing the groundwork we made sure there were levels and not hills, but the road kind of have to curve with the land naturally, so everything from the forest and our lawn is streaming down towards the road, if that makes sense. We had the ground workers come and even the road more towards the existing ditch that we have in cases like this, which they did, so it slowed down, but it still trickled down from our lawn. The soil arrived and it was really hard to find a place for it. The truck had to back up a bit, making huge dents in the ground, so the water collected there, making the soil wet and super heavy. But we just had to start the project before fall. So here is where we totally realized how big of a mistake it was to dig the trench before. Instead of just digging holes to plant directly into, this process is very tiring and hard for the body. Working with wet soil, going quite far back and forth with a wheelbarrow. It was humid and a lot of mosquitoes all the time. And every time we emptied one load of soil into the trench, it felt like a fart in space. But we powered through. I decided to place a plastic pipe underneath in hope to catch some of the water in case it got flooded again, and sometime we'll dig it back up and make a proper draining system. I didn't film it all, but we had been working on filling up the trench when we had time and energy until we felt it was dry enough to plant the hedge. Initially, it was going to start from this big thuja tree going all the way down, which is about 30 meters or so, but we didn't order enough. The main reason we want a hedge here is to cover the big white tent of our neighbors right beside our road. So we won't see it from our house or from the deck, but it also adds a bit of wind protection for my future vegetable garden, and it also adds privacy. So we started the hedge a bit further down than we originally planned, but I think it was the best call. We divided the work in between us. Eric was going back and forth with the soil while I was gathering the trees and making sure they were evenly spaced and leveled. And we placed 2 trees per meter, making it 12-ish meters in total. Our neighbors were burning some wood from cutting down a few trees. In case you can see smoke in the background, then you know why. We had 2 different quality soils. One was just a standard garden soil, the other one is a premium planting soil that we used right around the base of the tree, around the roots. The other standard soil is just to fill up or fill out the trench. We basically tried to fill the trench evenly with soil and then adjust each tree since they are different heights, but also because I mentioned we're on a slight slope, so the trees further down we had to plant higher up. And the white twine that you can see is a straight guide. Here you can see just how muddy it is. And this is going to be my vegetable garden. But we will take some of the leftover soil and even it out and put landscape fabric on top so that we can put the material we want in the walkways first thing in the spring. You can see some of the trees has brown spots on them, so these will be replaced. But in whole, this is the result, the before and after. And as they grow, they'll cover the neighbor's tent and add privacy and a beautiful welcoming driveway.